Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Gabby, and I'm a part of AIM's class of 2022. Yeah, I was a student at Immaculate. I recently graduated, and I'm really proud of that because now I can call myself an ITHS girl and repost those tweets, and you know. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Great. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm in AIMS class of 2022. Yeah, and I'm gonna graduate next year from sixth form. So I'm in 6B right now, kind of, because it's summer, so it's like, and I'm gonna go into 6A September come. I started AIMS SSC classes in March, and then and I took SSCs in March as well, and I'm gonna take the SSCs again in August. And I'm also a part of AIMS college counseling classes, college counseling like in general as well. So yeah. So what made you even come to AIM in the first place?
I saw. Okay, to be honest, I don't know what was going on at that time, but I just kept seeing Nicole's face all over social media. And I saw the video, and she was just like, if you're in lower six, or if you're, in going into lower six, you need to sign up for AIMS SAT classes. And I was like, oh my gosh, ABCs, mommy. And then I showed her the video, and I don't know, I just felt some sense of urgency because I'm just like, SATs, what? No, because no one really talks, or I keep saying when I was, but like no one really speaks about the SATs that much, and I wasn't really sure what it was or how to get into it. And I showed my mom, and she's just like, okay, like, what do we need to do? And so I think we kept scrolling through the Instagram page because it was a sponsored post at the time. I wasn't following AIM.
Yeah.
And then we just signed up. Oh, and I think we joined an SAT open house because you know how Nicole normally has the open houses. Yeah, so we joined one of those, we got more information, and then we booked an initial consultation, I think. Yeah, that's all.
Did you ever consider any other college counseling places? Like, what was it about AIM specifically that made you decide to come?
What was it? I think because I had heard a lot of good reviews from my friends, and I really felt like going with AIM was just having my life in good hands. It might sound dramatic, but honestly, looking back, my life really was in good hands. I mean, come on.
Yeah, my case is a little bit different because my sister went to AIM right before me. Well, not right before, long before. So she came to AIM as well. I think that she would have heard about it the same way that you did, where she starts on pages and stuff like that. And her experience was great. Hi Nicole, we see you in the chat. You can just request to join whenever you want, and we'll add you. But yeah, so my sister came to AIM before, and she had an amazing experience. My family absolutely loved working with them. It wasn't. Let me tell you, it was not even a question if it was coming to AIM. What do you think was your favorite aspects of the process with them, SAT?
It was probably just the environment and the welcoming atmosphere. Y'all, Stephanie, oh my gosh. I didn't know I could cry over verbal like that. I honestly...
Wait, you cry over maths, you cry over verbal. It
yes,
like you just
and that's how bad it was. Yes, I'm telling you, if I didn't understand, I would cry because I thought I was failing. But I really wasn't. I was just being hard on myself. And I think seeing the support and how much help I had gotten from my tutors and TAs made me realize that I was really just being hard on myself. And if I just apply and use the strategies and the resources that they give us, because we get a lot of resources, then I'd be fine. Like, it was all good. I was just being dramatic, nothing serious.
I know a thing or two about dramatic girls. I have one on my hands here. They say she gets it from me, but I will deny that.
Did you guys talk about what did you say about your emotional journey, Gabby? I think I missed a little bit of it.
That it was really, really bad on my own. And my tutors and TAs made me feel a lot better. And yeah, what you said about community is true because especially, I think COVID especially has taught us about how much our friends mean to us and the company, being in the company of our friends. And I think even though it was an online class, I still felt that sense of community and it made a huge difference. The SAT period was very, very hard. Oh, especially when I was supposed to go at it again. You know how you have to do the SATs, but you don't have to, but it's recommended up to 3 times. Yeah. I'm saying, you're telling me I went through all of that and I have to do it again. But when I did it again, it wasn't as bad because I had Dominique's help. So I felt so much better. It's like other people understanding you, but also knowing how to help you get better. It was really, really thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it my second time now, and I think the hardest thing right now for me is like starting and like getting into it. And I
I know
think
what you
that's
mean.
yeah, it's so hard. And I think that's one of the things that like is amazing about the class, because it forces you to stay on track. Like you have, if you guys don't know, if you guys never been to the classes before, the class is like, the structure is like you'd have 2 classes a week, a verbal class and a math class. Like there's like Monday, Thursday, or like Wednesday, Saturday, whatever works with your schedule, and they're like how like 3 hours long. And we also have a mock exam on Sundays, every single Sunday. So it helps to like force you to like be consistent. You also have homework every week as well for both types, for both math and English, and it like keeps you with that consistency. So even if you're not motivated, you have to get the homework done. Like you have to. And
at least. Also, let's talk about how even if you don't do outside work, which you should, I definitely recommend, working outside the classes.
Yeah.
You're going to get a higher score. I'm sorry, but that's just, I don't know what it is. That's just, you're going to get a higher score. I'm sorry, because you do the diagnostic. And then like months after you do the classes and you do the work and you use resources, I'm thinking it's inevitable. Like you're just going to improve. It's just that good. Sure, it's hard work, but it's work. You're putting in the work in the classes, and you have a better chance of getting a greater score jump if you just work outside of the classes. But even with the classes, you just have to, I'm sorry, but you just have to do better. If you do the classes, you just
I know exactly what you mean.
Have to say. We don't talk about that enough. Can I just say, everyone knows that if you hear AIM, you hear about the classes, but let's talk about those master classes and the basically free college prep that you get with the classes. Hello, I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was doing. I was a headless chicken, okay? And when I went on that portal, I was like, okay, let's just click on some stuff and see. And every single click, there was something new and something valuable. So I just, soaked it all up and tried to take advantage of it, because you can't get that anywhere. I'm sorry, but it's just, you can't just Google these stuff. You can't just YouTube it, because I would try to YouTube things, and sure, it's a nice, simple explanation, but they don't tell you the work or they don't give you enough detail that's required to execute and do it to the best of your ability. But the resources there, the live classes, being able to ask my tutor, what on earth does this mean? It was just really cool.
Like when you have a question, just ask. That's it.
You can just ask. You can just
DM them, anything like that, and they'll just answer and stuff. Free video, pre-recorded masterclasses that come in the SAT class package. So when you sign up for the class, you get access to the mock exam, you get access to the tutors, you get access to the TAs, but you also get access to free college counseling, which is amazing.
I think when I went into it, I really thought that it was, like CXC, like just CXC, where you could just study overnight. No, this is a marathon. You are not running as this is not Sharika, and it's it's a 400-meter race. It's a marathon. You can't just study the night before, and you can't just do the little 1 and 2. Oh, look over book and SWOT, and no, you have to practice. When I tell you that licked me across my face after I got my first score, like granted, I'm glad for the score jump, but I was saying, it's not Shelly and Fraser for real. You have to just run, and you have to put in that work every single day to ensure that you get the score. And I feel like that was my first heartbreak.
As students, with how the education system is, we're like trained to do the little night before,
the little SWOT and
exactly. And then when you realize, when you realize when you take your first diagnostic exam and you get hit with that like 300 on both, blah, blah, you feel horrible. And it's like, especially because you think it's easy, because when you look at the questions, it's grammar, it's like exponents, some easy topics that you learn like in the basics of school. And then when you do the exam, you realize that a key part of it is like stamina. So that kind of like with the weekly and you know how you know it's about stamina and like pressing consistently, you will 100% see like a slight, like you'll go up in your grade the more you attend the
Exactly. That's why I
how
said
you
it's
know.
inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do the classes and once you're forced to be consistent, you would just have to improve. There's just
Exactly.
there's no way you can't improve. And so I remember I accidentally shaded in the wrong question, and then I had to go back and erase, and the water was going to drop and just erase all the pencil. I was But you know what? It worked out. But you have to honestly, it sounds long, but it's not. You have to be really quick. You have to be really strategic. But you cannot just suddenly get those strategies out of thin air. You know, you have to be practicing them, and you only get to know them if you do the classes, if you read the books, and if you take advantage of the material that you get.
Yeah.
So,
I want to jump in.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, go ahead. You're in charge.
I was just bringing it to Rebecca. Someone in the chat said it was like 4 hours actually, the exam. Honestly, guys, if it's not 3 hours, it's probably 4 hours. It's a really long exam.
In the room, for sure, it's about 4 hours that you're there.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. The new digital, I'll just make this announcement.
Right.
So the new digital SAT is going to be shorter. A little bit shorter. So that's something to look forward to. But the new digital SAT won't be available until the spring, until 2024 at US test centers, and then the spring, which means like March 2023 at international test centers. So that's something to keep in mind if you are in the class of, let's say, 2024. Like my bonus daughter Ali is going into lower 6. Oh my gosh. And she is gonna have the option. No, I am still like, I'm now in the weird position. I find it weird because it feels like it's happened so quickly, but of being a parent in the equation of a college bound child. And so with my knowledge, I don't know if I want her to do the digital SAT yet. You know, it's because, you know, whenever there's something new, there's always a little guinea pig stage.
Oh,
that's just the truth.
It's like the guinea pig batch, if you think about it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
That's true. And even if they've said, you know, and College Board, big up College Board, they said they've tested it. Sorry, I have allergies. They said they've tested it, and you know, all these people report that it's so much better, whatever. But until you roll it out completely, I won't know. And I think it is very interesting that it's coming out at international test centers before US test centers. Don't you think? Isn't that curious, girls? Not to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but
yeah, that sounds a bit. Since when do we get the nice stuff first?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Unless they're being.
We won't say it outright, but that's why I have Ali in. Ali has just graduated 5th form, going into law 6. She is in the July class. She's doing her first SAT in October. And there's so many people, you guys, you know how it is. One of the biggest mistakes they make is they wait. They're saying, I'm going to law 6. I'm going to wait until next year after I finish unit 1.
Yep.
I'm going to wait until, and in this case now, I want her to get going now so she could do the October sitting and then repeat again in December to get a score that's robust. If we decide that digital SAT isn't the best fit, you know, I want an option. I really do. I don't know how she'll respond to the digital SAT and what it's gonna be like scoring. I'm on the side of caution because you guys know there's a lot at stake. What's on the line, Gabby, as an applicant?
Well, for me, especially because I'm international, I say that with my guts. I am Jamaican. I'm not from the USA. And I'm also not rich. I need financial aid. Hello? I need the scholarships. And so those SAT scores, as much as they say test optional, my foot, frankly. Because I need to make sure that I give in a good score so that I have a better chance of getting more money. Okay? I'm so sorry. We can't be following any little printout that comes in the news anymore. We have to just make sure we're making the best decisions and making those smart decisions. So even though they say test optional, people, I promise you, it doesn't mean they're test blind. Yeah, if you look at, logically, if you look at both of us, so say I didn't do the SATs, I didn't submit a score, and Rachel happens to get a really, really good score. We have the same profile, very similar activities, everything. Who would you choose? Exactly. No, just think about it for yourself. Exactly. You don't even have to be an admission officer. I just think it's plain common sense. If you see one with 6 apples and one with 5 apples and you really like apples, you're gonna choose the basket with 6 apples. Don't, like, come on, people. It's not.
I agree. I know. I see a lot of people like letting the test optional thing like trick them.
Fool them.
It's not. They don't like mean it like that, guys. Honestly, what Gabby just said, the perfect like metaphor for it. Because if you like, I guess the only case where it might be beneficial is maybe if you've done it a bunch of times and your score is not, you're not feeling confident about the score. I guess maybe go test optional. But if your score is amazing, if you manage to get that good SAT score, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to submit it. And there's no reason why a university will look at that as a bonus. So
just to pick up on that, I mean, it was just really interesting. As I said, I'm so much a spectator to this conversation to really like hear how you guys are thinking about things and processing things. But no, I just got back from a conference in New Mexico, which is the International Association of College Admissions Counselors, which is the largest meeting of admissions counselors, largest annual meeting of admissions counselors in the world. I think it was over like 1,300 people there, and then a bunch more online. All the colleges, guys, like UK, Europe, US, Canada, everywhere. And they had a session on this whole test optional conversation. And the big takeaway here was that test blind does not equal test optional. Test blind is I will not look at the score if you send it. Test optional is if you send a score, we'll consider as part of your application. So if a university really does not care about SAT scores at all, they'd be test blind. They tell you, don't send these scores. We're not going to look at them. It means nothing to us. Caltech is test blind. The University of California system is test blind. Everywhere else is pretty much test optional or test required. MIT is test required now. All the public universities in Florida are test required. So like FIU, USF, University of Florida, which is a real favorite among Caribbean students. And the whole University of Georgia system, including the whole Georgia system, including University of Georgia and Georgia Tech, also test required. So the truth is, what these admissions officers basically told us is you can't help the positive bias that's created when you see a strong SAT score.
Yeah.
You just can't help it. They're gonna look like Caltech is test blind, but their admission rate is also 5%, you guys. And it's not everybody. Like I could never go to Caltech because it's such a specialized like niche, like tech STEM genius school, and that was never me, right? So again, they're test blind, but how many people are going to qualify, want, and get into Caltech? The University of California system is amazing. UCLA, UC Berkeley, everybody loves them, but they don't give aid to international students at all. So if you're like Gabby, or you were like me when I was applying, and my dad told me I needed a full scholarship.
As well,
Exactly, those are not options. So I think I think we should have learned this, and I'm happy that you guys have, that when you read the headlines, you have to look beyond the headline and beyond even what the schools are saying and say, well, what is my situation? How does this apply to me? Like, am I looking to get into a super competitive school? Like, am I going to, how much money do I have on the table or don't have on the table? What do I want these schools to think? How can I put myself, as they said from the session, how can I portray myself in the best light, show the very best of myself? When I started AIM, we didn't even do SAT prep. We were focused on helping everybody be the best them and writing all these great essays, doing all these apps. And then I soon had to take the scales off my eyes and realize that without the strong SAT score, these kids were not going to be as competitive, even with their nice app and all of these nice essays and all these great things they've done. The SAT score elevates everything. It just does. And so when you're competing for money or in a competitive situation, you need to just present strength.
Your best foot forward. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're talking about how starting early is very important. You're talking about your doctor, how you're making her start the October sitting first and she has up to the December one. That's another very important thing, guys. Like, you need to give yourself the opportunity to do the SAT multiple times, like if you need to. Like maybe you don't necessarily plan to do it a bunch of times, but if that happens, It's very, very normal to do SAT like twice, 3 times, around that range.
All right, but hold on. Let's talk about how I remember when I was just starting.
Yeah.
And I was taking my SATs. I'll never forget. I felt like the biggest fool. I felt like I was like panicking. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really was. And I was going into I was going to lower six at the time. And because of COVID, my CXC exams, the CSEC had been delayed. And I had already registered for the summer classes. So the summer classes were starting and my exams were like barely ending. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the classes too early. Only to realize that I was doing it at the right time, but I was just listening to too many different people who don't really know anything. Sorry.
Let's talk about the pitfalls of listening to too many almost experts on college admission. It's very dangerous.
It's confused. It is, because you put a lot at risk. Like, I'm sorry, but it's true.
That's very true.
You can't be listening to so many empty barrels. You have to ensure that if you're getting your information, it's from the right sources.
And I mean, not necessarily. I mean, not to. I mean, I know you turn off phrase, but like not to necessarily say everybody's an empty barrel who's giving, you know, college advising advice. Maybe it worked for their friend, or they had a cousin who did it that way. But the thing about college admissions is it's so individual. Like it's your profile, it's your context. You cannot cookie cutter lift what somebody else did and their time and then apply it to you. First of all, people respond differently to the SAT. Like a lot of people have all ones and they're like the brightest thing in the world, and then they come to the SAT and they're like, what is this? So they're thinking, oh, I don't need to prep for early. I could just do it one time and then I obviously, you know, I'm the boss. I'm so bright, you know. But this thing is not about how bright you are or how many ones you have or how many A's you got in class or how everybody since you born has told you how you're brilliant. You don't even know how you're going to respond to the SAT. For some people, it just comes like this. And we've had I'd say about 3% of AMOs who have done the SAT once. I remember Desmond Edwards being one of those legends. That, you know, went to, you remember Desmond? He was in Rufan's year.
Yeah, I remember him. I think he went to MIT.
He went to MIT, right? So he did the class. His diagnostic was like 1,300 and something. And he did the SAT once. And it was 1,500 and plenty. And he was like, enough of that.
As he should.
I think, but guys, I think he still did it a second time because Desmond is just like that. He's like, I could have gotten perfect, whatever. But the point is, he didn't have to, but he did. And so some people only do it once. Listen, I was never that kid. I was that student who have to open book and just beat book. And that's what a lot of people are, even if they're super brilliant, you know, in traditional classroom setting, because the exam is just very different.
Very, very different from the American system. Yeah, we can't just assume that because we did add math or because we're doing pure math that all of a sudden SAT is just gonna come like this. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. Test it out and see how you are, but please don't assume that. Please don't. That's probably going to be your biggest mistake.
I have the experience. I so vividly remember, like, my friends preparing for the SATs that maybe they're older than me or something, and they're getting ready for it. And so I like see them doing the work, and I look at them and I'm like, this is regular math. This is like grammar. This is like antonyms, synonyms. That's so easy. And then when I come to the diagnostic and I get hit with that score, that first score, and you're like, I feel like I know this stuff. Like, I don't understand. And then that's when you realize that you need someone. Like, AIM has been having these classes for years now, and the tutors are very experienced, and the TAs, usually most of the TAs have done the SATs themselves as well. So you need someone that, like, went to
every single TA has done the SAT, and I think, and if I'm not correct, either 99%, there might be like a one exception, but everybody has been an aimer. That's how we select TAs. It's from, you know, kids who have done the SAT with us, who we know are about that life and who can breathe life. You know, sometimes like you have the instructor, right? But sometimes from a relatability perspective, like you need somebody. You guys know this more than
definitely. No, because there are moments where we had questions about the exam, like how the format, like what's it like in the room, the environment, and we just ask the TA, and they tell us about, like, you know, when you walk in, they're gonna check check your ID and that kind of stuff. The kind of stuff that the tutor might not know because they did the exam like
or YouTube might not know.
Exactly.
Because YouTube is telling me that I'm just gonna walk in, do my exam, and walk out. But my TA is telling me that I need to bring my banana bread and grapes because I'm gonna get hungry.
Exactly.
Okay, please don't think that 3 hours at home is 3 hours in the SATs. No, because when I'm on my third passage, I am sweating bullets and I'm thirsty. My stomach is growling. The paper is about to fall off the desk about, because I'm like vibrating from hunger. It's really bad. So bring your food, okay?
Girls, I want to ask you something. There was a question in the comments. Oh, Gabby's mommy is here. Hi, mommy. There was a question in the I saw Miss M. Clarke. Yes, I saw Marilyn roll up into the live. I have to big her up. There was a question about what if like you're navigating this process on your own, and like what would your best advice be? I will just answer first and then you guys can answer. Number one, I would say definitely if it is humanly possible. Like I have had literally parents, I had a parent about 5 years ago. She told me, I don't know how many others have done it, but she told me she borrowed the money for the initial consultation.
Yeah. She
literally borrowed the money. It was 100 US at the time. Now it's 150. She borrowed money for the consultation. Her child ended up getting a full scholarship. Her daughter was so impressive that we ended up, I think, giving her some sort of a scholarship to get more college application advising stuff done through AIM Higher. And then she got this full ride and it's just amazing. And she's an engineer / computer scientist. And it just, but the point is, to do the initial consultation, mom borrowed the money and was like, I'm doing this. She actually went into the bank and then deposited it to AIM's account. Like, she don't know online, like she just was. And so I would say the initial consultation is the best investment. Like if you are just don't know and you're guiding yourself and you're Googling and you're asking people and you're trying to use the resources that are out there, I would say try and do an initial consultation if humanly possible. Second, we have a blog. We try to make this blog like as enriching as possible. If you want to hear about a certain topic, you want AIM's weigh in on a certain question on, like, suggest a blog topic, DM us and suggest a blog topic. We are always on the hunt for good blog topics. And then we have a mailing list and we release this information to our mailing list like every week, every 2 weeks. And this is, I'm talking about like financial aid lists of the schools that give the best full rides to international students. Because by the way, that's a huge error that students make, is that they're applying to these schools that they never had a chance of getting funding from in the first place. So no matter how high the SAT score is, it's not going to do anything because it's against the school's policy, for example. So you want to avoid pitfalls like that, because I've seen too many brilliant kids fall into the trap of being like, okay, I have ones and a high SAT score. I just went fill out these applications and just like sort it out. And it does not, it can work out, but there's so many pitfalls along the way, and every single year the process gets more obscure and more competitive. So definitely try to get info from a source that you can trust. And we try to give as much in terms of information to our community as possible. If you want us to make a video about something, like you want us to answer a question on video, submit. We have Rachel here as our marketing intern for like, I don't know how much longer, but for as long as we can hold her and she can manage her schoolwork. She thought it was a summer internship. I want her for longer. But the point is,
her for longer. Yeah, we plan to answer more questions about the SATs. We plan to put out content that's gonna help you guys. So do not hesitate to ask. Like, our goal right now is providing you guys with like what you need to get this process. And so like definitely let us know, because that's what we want to do. Like help.
DM AIM, or that's what I did. I'm sorry, but when I was, what did I just do? Anyways, when I was just starting, or I didn't even realize.
Gabby, I had no idea you were such a trip. I mean, this live has been pure entertainment.
No, because when I was confused, I just DM'd AIM and I was just like, listen, I have a dilemma. So I'm going into lower 6 and I just signed up for
I bet you I can find the DM.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you can. Or you guys posted it. I was just like, okay, I don't feel like a fool anymore. You guys are cool. Yeah, so I would just DM, just ask. Because I'm telling you, you'll get an answer. Or you see the open houses? Those are top tier. I'm sorry, I already did my SATs and I still go. Because I just always feel like I'll have a question. Granted, I won't be doing the SATs again, but I don't know.
Granted, like you're already admitted to college. Granted.
Oh, right, exactly. So I'm done, but I just still feel there's that little aimer in me that's just like, you should go to that and ask your question. Are you sure you don't have any more questions yet? Gabrielle.
Don't worry, Gabby, we'll have something for you because we're gonna do this what to know before you go thing, and mental health. Now maybe we can collaborate because mental health is huge now, and I do want Amos going off to college to have some more tools to manage your minds and to like take good care of themselves and their wellness and their safety. It's all kind of it's a wild world out there, Gabby. I don't care to send you guys into college just like with blinders on.
That's what my mom told me like 5 minutes ago.
It's not the same thing as being here, okay? It is not. So Gabby is going to
Woo, Howard. Woo.
I think that's what they say. Did I do a good job? Anyway, any Howard people, I'm just trying to like be down, okay? They have a whole lot of bison pride. That's all I can say.
Yes.
For you, someone asked what Aim Higher is like all about. Like, could you talk to us about that?
All right. The Aim Higher is all about helping students who are low income, high potential, just like super, resilient, have faced obstacles and refuse to give up and just have embraced excellence as their way, not even knowing like what is going to happen for college. They can't afford to come to AIM. They definitely can't afford to go to college. And so a few, about 2 years into AIM is when I really sort of started to see the need, and people would reach out to me. And so anyway, we started working with students pro bono, and have done that for a good few years. Our students have done just tremendous things. They've, won prizes, gotten into full PhD programs after university, landed like excellent jobs. We have one that plays professional rugby in the US now, like just so much. I could get emotional, but we had last year with the program, I'm pausing it this year just because some structural things need to be worked out. It's supposed to reach high potential low income students, and I think we need to do a better job of how we actually verify that students are low income and high need. So we have to, just like how colleges put you through a verification process when you apply for financial aid, we need to be able to put applicants through a vetting process. We need to develop that. And then we need to put resources behind it. And so I'm pausing it until next year. I'm working on putting those things in place so that we can make sure we're reaching the right people, because we had, it didn't go as we would have loved this year with some of the students that we identified didn't meet the criteria we would have wanted. So I had to pause it, but it works with low-income students essentially. So if you're in the class of 2024, Aim Higher will be open for you if you start in college in 2024. But if you start in college in 2023, Aim Higher is not open for you as college prep. But we do have SAT, free SAT, or like 50% off SAT spots for students who want to be a part of Aim Higher. I think we have like a couple of them. We're still going to try and vet the students, but it's a bit less. College advising, as you know, is very intensive, right, guys? Very one-on-one. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of essays. We do everything start to finish. I have to tell you this funny story. I referred someone to a colleague of mine. I couldn't take the students, so I referred them to a colleague of mine in the States for the same service. And I don't know if you guys would like to guess how much they came back and told me the person quoted them.
I can't get.
I'm scared.
3,000. That's one guess. 2,000. Give me another guess. You girls guess now. Come on.
8,000.
8,000. Go, Gabby.
I guess 8 or 9.
8 or 9, and then we have another guess at least 7,000. We have another guess here, 12,000. Anybody else want to guess before I do the grand reveal? 5,000. Anybody else want to guess? Come on, 1,000. Come on. 5, 4, 3. Come on, any more guesses? Any more? 4,000? Okay. 38,000 United States dollars.
Oh my gosh.
The way how I can't even imagine that number because it's so high.
Remember, guys, remember the college admission scandal, which wasn't paying a real consultant. This consultant is legit, does amazing work, has amazing results, right? This is legit. But remember, you had parents willing to pay $500,000 US to get into USC, where we have students getting every year. It's like, you know, they're willing to pay $1 million for a seat at Yale. We have students go there meaning this is what this is the state of play in the US, and so to go to a premier college advising service and have a top consultant with the results of getting kids into the schools you want, 38 grand. No, that would be more on the more expensive side, but it's certainly not under $12,000-$15,000 in the US for a strong, for a great consultant. So that was kind of I said, I'm moving to Connecticut, forget this. I'm like, bye. I'm leaving you all behind. I'm like, I gotta go see greener pastures. I'm kidding. But it's very intensive, and so that's why we had to pause the college advising program that worked with AIM Hires for this year, just to structure in a way that makes sure we're really reaching the right kids. Not kids that just want to come to AIM and the parents say it costs too much money. That's not our target. Our target are kids who could not afford it under any sort, low income students. It's just like with financial aid, colleges don't care if your parents are willing or not to pay. It's whether they can or whether they're able to or not. It is need based. So so we have to just put the structure behind that. But yeah, that's kind of where we are.
Thank you. Another amazing question that I think is a great answer. So somebody asked what the open houses are. Essentially, AIM has these, they're online, right? There's Zoom meetings where you answer questions, go through the college process, talk about SATs as well. And if you're interested in joining, attending them, you can sign up for the newsletter, the AIM newsletter, because usually they'd send you emails when those are going to happen. They're free. Nicole?
They're 100% free, and what we're going to do now, my top star intern Ali is just killing it. I'm gonna get her to load on some past open houses on YouTube, or we'll find the best one and put it on YouTube, and then post it in our stories, send out. But if you're not on the AIM mailing list, this is where you get all the scoop. You get the blog articles, you're gonna get the YouTube videos, all of those things. So it's aimonlineacademy.com/mailing list.
Yeah.
Somebody test that URL and make sure I'm making sense. But it's aimonlineacademy.com/mailing.
aimonlineacademy.com, and navigate around, you'll find it.
You'll also find, that's right. You'll find it from our webpage as well.
Oh, that mailing list was really good, by the way, because I think that's where I got all of my information and news from. If I wasn't on Instagram all the time, I got it from the mailing list. And even some things that I might not have seen on Instagram, I got it from the mailing list, because you have to check your email, and you see those those sneak peeks and those little things that only mailing users get.
No, I don't know what I don't know what the thought is, or where you guys' heads are at. You're not millennials, you're not Gen Y, you're Gen Z, whatever you are. Do you check email? I don't know, but the point is, let's start, because there are so many scholarship opportunities. That is the way that colleges communicate. So you have to, and in fact, one of the things we said to our students is set up a separate email only for college stuff. Set it up now. You do not want to miss an email from a college saying, oh, apply for this opportunity, closes in 2 weeks. The worst feeling is when you miss the opportunity, a week after, why didn't I see this earlier? It can really cost you a lot of money in this process. So definitely my parting advice, I know we're about an hour in now. I don't know what else Rachel was planning to ask, but I definitely say my parting advice is start early. Do an initial if humanly possible, so you can just get your question answered, get a real plan from experts that actually know exactly how this thing works, and spend a lot of time in professional development. I've had 2 college conferences, and Stephanie has been at conferences this summer as well. So do the initial and get an expert game plan, and not be relying on Google and other people. And then, you know, obviously I would recommend strongly, and so would anybody who has been through the AIM program, like if you're starting college in 23 or 24, sign up for the class. Like, you get free college app classes as well, and you want to definitely use all the resources at your disposal. Sign up for the mailing list. We'll send you we send you like all the scoop. We'll give you access to our open houses. We want you to have the right information. Even if you don't come to AIM, we want you to win. We want you guys to win. Whether you're AIMers or not, we want you to win. And so sign up for the mailing list. It's totally free. And we hope to just like DM us your questions, things you want us to make videos about or answer for you. We want to serve you guys properly. We want to serve you well, and give you the answers as much as we can.
Yes. So yeah, your first step as soon as this live ends is to type in AIM Online Academy /SAT class, guys, because the window for that session, the July one for October, is closing very quickly. So that's my parting advice. Visit the website.
If it makes you feel any better, I did the summer classes. And I mean, look at me now. I'm gorgeous and I'm here and I'm winning. Sorry.
No, very
It's
importantly,
true.
other than your cute looks, is your big scholarship and the fact that you're going
exactly.
to Howard University in the fall to continue to win at life. That's more important.
Yeah, just feel comforted in the fact that I did the summer classes and it was amazing. I mean, I wouldn't lie to you. Come on, do I look like I'm telling you the truth. It was great.
We have another question here. Is it too late?
Exactly.
Oh, go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that. Is it too late? It's you need to sign up now. Like, it's on. Your window is definitely closing. If you are planning to sit, if you've not done SATs before and you're going to college 2023, your last chances would probably be the October exam, and there's another one in December. But that would be after early admissions. So if you like plan to go to university next year,
we like early admissions. We love it.
It's very important.
Did Ruth Ann apply early?
Yeah, she definitely did.
Yeah.
So
Rachel's sister is at Stanford, which she applied to early. Listen, I can't emphasize early applications enough. I was just going through the statistics a week ago on a call with a parent, and we were looking at just how many schools fill upwards of 40% of their spaces for the entire class in the early round. So let's say a school gets 6,000 apps. They fill 40% of their entire space from those 6,000 apps. And then in regular, they have like what? 50% of their total space left with like 50,000 applications? Come on. Why wouldn't you want to apply early? Just again, like Gabby said, use your common sense. Like, look at the numbers. Why would you want to be like, if you are humanly able to apply early, that's what you want to do. And that's why, for example, Ali is in the July class, even though she does not start college until 2024. I think people do not understand the timeline. And also as a parent, it's shocking how quickly your kids grow up. Can I just defend parents?
It's shocking for me too, honestly. I won't lie. It's shocking even for me. Like, I was just, my biggest problem like yesterday was whether I was coloring inside the line or not. Okay, I'll be honest. It's crazy.
It's really quick. I was looking at pictures of Lauren and Joshua in 2018, and they're so much bigger. Like, that's a whole 4 years that has gone. And I'm here like, oh, that was just yesterday. I remember that. Your kids get big so quickly that you don't realize college is upon you. You're thinking, oh, what CAPE subjects will we select? Oh, it's time to prep for CSEC. And you're just in this whole like tunnel vision, and then all of a sudden you look up and it's college time. But when you look up, you're late. And when you're late, you don't have the best chances. It's hard, you know, it's hard. But I just hope that if we say it enough, and Rachel helps us to get more creative about how we say it, and that, you know, parents and students will stop making this mistake of just starting way too late.
Definitely. Yeah. So I think with that, we can say our goodbyes, especially to Gabby. Thank you so much. You were an absolute pleasure. You were amazing.
Thank you. This was so fun.
Your vibes are amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I would definitely want you as my TA, Gabby. So when I'm having my meltdowns, you seem like a meltdown coach. So when
I would be, because I have good experience in it. I mean, I might as well.
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rachel. You were amazing. I'm looking forward to popping in. Tell us when is your next live. Tell us what's going on.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. Every single day next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all of it, I'll be going live with different students. all students that have been through AIMS process, have been through the classes, who are college bound. You can probably even find some of them on our page. We have Isabel coming. We have so many students coming. Abigail Huey is next Monday. You'll definitely see a post talking with you about that. So definitely tune in 5 o'clock every single day next week, talking all about SATs.
It's mere coincidence that the first two have been immaculate girls, okay? Mere mere coincidence. Remember, Andrews is where it's at. And on that note.
Okay.
I don't know if I can quite agree with that, but all right.
Oh my goodness. We listen, at AIM, we love all of our students, and hopefully, Rachel, we could hear from some kids in Barbados, some of our students like outside of Jamaica.
We have a lot of international students.
Yeah, we have a bunch of those too, so that would be fun. Bye. Thank you, girls.
Bye.